Now, you may have got homework when you were at school, or you may have not as much, but now it's the time when they may or may not be giving you tons and tons of homework all the time. Now, is this a bad thing, or is it a good thing? Well, that's up to you to decide. It is. If you think it's good for your learning, then it's good for your learning. If you think it's bad and you don't like it, then you don't like it. But the only purpose of homework is because it's either you don't get what you wanted to get done in that lesson, so you do it at home, or they give you homework and you need to bring it back on that time, otherwise you may or may not get into trouble. Now, what I believe that in college there is a lot more homework, and this is mainly got to do with either your course, maths, English, those type of topics. Now, is it the end of the world if you don't get it done, or if you don't find the time, or maybe you're ill one day and you don't get it done? In some cases it won't be. It should never ever be the end of the world, because we know that it can put stress on you. So, we're going to talk about that a bit more, and now I've given you the scenario, I'm going to read off what the website says about this. Alright, so first of all, there are 5 ways to get support. Now I will read this out and I'll talk about it a bit more. Read this out, talk about it a bit more. Alright, okay. The first one is, let a teacher know how you feel so they can try to help you. So, in a way where if you don't get it done and you feel quite nervous that, oh, the teacher may shout at me, then try and speak to her beforehand, or when you get the homework and you don't understand it, then they'll try and help you, but also make sure you tell the teacher how you feel. Now, I know that seems a bit useless to some people because they simply do not want to do it. In some cases homework needs to be done, in some cases homework won't need to be done, and that's from past experience. The second support way is tell your parents or carers, or ask another adult for help. So that's basically asking your parent or carer or an adult to help you with the homework. Speak to a doctor for advice on coping with stress. Now, I know that some people may or may not feel comfortable going to a doctor, but if you do feel comfortable, then try and get your parents to arrange some sort of appointment with a doctor so you can talk to him about the stress, and then hopefully they can tell you how to cope with it. And if they can't tell you, please, it's not the underworld. There are hopefully other people in life, and if you don't like that, well, you can always talk to Childline, and I will have their website down below, also their phone number and their YouTube channel, because I think videos are one of the better ways of understanding things in life. Get support from other young people on our message boards. So on Childline they have a message board where all these messages come in, and I do see a lot whilst I was researching this for college, and it was mainly to Hi Sam, or to Sam, yeah. and maybe you could read through them and they could give you some advice of how to cope with it. Or talk to a childline counsellor. So there's you and a childline counsellor talking, and it's kind of what you think when you talk to an adult or a teacher. They will try and help you. Alright, so now, what if you don't understand things? Now, we've already just talked about this of 5 ways to get support, but there's a bit more. There's a lot to learn at school and college. It's normal to feel confused sometimes. Not understanding something about your homework doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't. Everyone learns in different ways, and you have to find a way that suits you. But there are things you could do to help. Like, for instance, tell your teacher. If they know you're finding it hard, they can find ways to explain things to you differently, or arrange extra lessons for you. Now, depending on what type of person you are, you may be a person like me who worries about stuff like this, or you don't worry that much and you don't mind for this to happen, and then go ahead and do it. But if you worry about it, I want you to try, and if you find a teacher that you like if you like a one-to-one and she's very kind and she helps you a lot, then try and ask her to help you with the work that you've been given, or just get someone to help you that you like, that you trust, if that makes sense to you. Talk to your parents or carers. They should try to help you and would usually want you to do well. If you're worried about talking to them, you can have a 1-to-1 counsellor chat to a childline counsellor, or call the childline number, and it's for free. So the parents or carers should be able to understand. Now, they may not be well educated, so they may or may not be able to help, but it's worth giving it a go and try and ask them, because it's not the end of the world if they don't know that much about the topic. Now, also with homework, finding the time, as I've said at the start of this, finding the time can also be quite hard, and this is what Childline has said. It can sometimes be difficult to plan time to revise or do homework. You might be tired after school or college, or you might have other things to do, looking after brothers or sisters, helping out at home, or doing sports or other activities, or anything that you usually do after school that you pretty much like doing. And this is what Childline has said to make it easier to try and get you to find the time. Number 1, make a list. Write down things that you need to do each day. Decide which ones are most important, like cleaning your bedroom, doing homework, washing dishes, taking your dog for a walk. This can help you see what you need to spend the most time doing and what can be done another day. Number 2, talk to an adult. Try try talking to someone you trust. They might be able to help you manage your time or find other ways of supporting you. Now, I know some people may consider this, but then when they get to talking, you're just like, oh, it's just like, I just don't want to do it. And that's the laziness kicking in, because you may not do that much during your day. And I know it can be quite nerve-wracking to do homework at times, but try to do it, and maybe try and talk to someone so they can make you feel comfortable with doing the homework. And even if you still don't feel comfortable with doing it, then either just keep talking to them until you do, and if you don't, just try and give it your best shot, because I've had the kind of experience that others said to you. And the last one is use revision tools. Sorry guys, not the very best reader. To help you revise, try using tools such as GCSE mind maps to help understand the course content. If you can't focus, use our art box to draw and express your feelings. Now, this is something that they have on Childline, and I think I know what they're talking about, but I'm just going to tell you. On Childline, you can make an account that doesn't require any email or other personal stuff. That it only requires you to make a username, password that is strong, and then you may go in. Well, and also some other stuff as well to keep you safe and secure. It's free to do, it is, and you'll be able to talk to a Childline counsellor. You'll also be able to fill this little emotional feeling diary where you can click, like they have tons of these emojis, I'm going to say, of different feelings, and you can click on them, and then you can write off how you feel or not, and you can look back at it like the next 2 weeks and just look at it and maybe say to myself, oh, I was feeling happy then, but then I was feeling depressed then. I think it's quite useful. Alright, so now we're done with homework and sort of looking at the facts and the websites about it. Now, my opinion, and this may not lead into looking at the website again. Now, with homework is maybe it can be quite hard to do, and depending on what type of person you are, you may or may not get into trouble for it. But if you're a person like me who gets nervous, shy and depressed at times, that sometimes you have no time to do homework whatsoever, then if you do go in that morning and they say, oh, why haven't you done your homework, and you say your reason, and then they say you're in trouble, and then the following words come after that, then try not to panic, because if it's for a good reason and if the parents understand it, then the parents will be able to back you up, so don't think you're alone. But in some cases homework does need to be done, and if you don't bother to do it at all, unless if it's for a good enough reason, then sometimes you deserve to get into trouble. But not all the time, because I know most reasons are quite good. But yeah, again, try not to worry and stress about it. And if you don't get homework, just be happy, because then you've got more time to do whatever you want. So yeah, it's quite good for me, because if you do YouTube videos, then you need that extra time to keep on doing this, because like it's planning, filming, editing, uploading. Like I can't do it if I've got other stuff to do. Anyway, alright, so try not to worry about it, and depending what teacher you have or tutor, it should be alright. Now the next topic is